This is Lamar Jackson, one of the most prolific quarterbacks in the entire NFL, and maybe one of the most prolific quarterbacks ever, dating all the way back to his days at Boynton Beach High School.
The man, the myth, the legend.
When Lamar Jackson went and played football at Louisville, he absolutely lit up the field with over 9,000 passing yards, 69 career passing touchdowns, 4,000 career rushing yards, and another 50 career rushing touchdowns, totaling 13,000 career yards and almost 120 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson in 2019 became the youngest Heisman Trophy winner in college football history. But even after proving himself to be the best college football player on the planet, putting up absolutely insane yardage numbers, there were still a lot of doubters that his style of play would transfer to the NFL. And you saw that by him getting drafted late in the first round in the 2018 NFL draft by the Baltimore Ravens. But just as he did his entire career, Lamar Jackson proved all the haters wrong. And in only his second season in the NFL, with over 3,000 passing yards, 1,000 rushing yards, 36 passing touchdowns, and an additional 7 rushing touchdowns, he became the second youngest MVP in NFL history,
the MVP frontrunner,
and only the second player to be voted MVP of the league unanimously. But even after all these accolades, there is still one thing that has eluded Lamar his entire career, going all the way back to high school: a championship. Now, there's plenty of reasons why Lamar hasn't won a title, and I think the biggest one is the fact that the Ravens just will not give him a lot of offensive weapons, specifically at wide receiver. And so first we need to find out if he's ever going to make it happen on his current trajectory with the Baltimore Ravens. And so after finishing the 2023 season, Madden 23 has the Chiefs as the winner of your Super Bowl this year. Just like in real life, the Ravens did not make the Super Bowl. And so after Kansas City wins another ring, it was time for the biggest question of this offseason: will Lamar Jackson stay in Baltimore? And so after simulating through this offseason, it's time to check our roster and see if Lamar stayed. And oh my God, it looks like he re-signed with the team. And he's got a huge cap hit, so I wonder what kind of contract they gave him. In real life, everybody's predicting that the Ravens may franchise tag him and trade him. But in Madden, let's see what happened. And oh my God, I think the Ravens just gave him a 7-year, $340 million contract. And it looks like this is $45 or $50 million a year. And I think this might be the biggest contract in NFL history. You'll have to fact check me, but I think Pat Mahomes is $450 over 10 years. So that's $45 a year. And Josh Allen's was only like 6 years and $238 million. So I think Madden just gave Lamar the biggest contract in NFL history. So it's time to find out to see if he's going to stay and win a Super Bowl with these Ravens. So we're not going to waste any time after that huge contract extension. Let's just simulate right to the Super Bowl in season 2 of this franchise and see if Lamar Jackson's contract was worth all that money. And so it looks like the Ravens didn't even make the playoffs this year after that gigantic contract. The Jaguars are in the Super Bowl. These playoffs are absolutely... There are some insane teams in this playoff bracket, but the matchup between the Cowboys and the Jaguars after the way the Jags are playing this year doesn't seem that far off, but the Ravens not even making it is crazy. Let's go take a look at the yearly rewards and see if Lamar maybe won any awards to make that contract worth it. And it looks like for MVP, finished top 3. Not great. Pat Mahomes, 16-1. Pat Mahomes won the MVP of the league. Maybe Offensive Player of the Year, which was Austin Eckler. Lamar's second, though. So third in MVP, second in Offensive Player of the Year. Not terrible. Let's go see how his stats were. He is 31st in the NFL in passing yards. So he must have had a ton of rushing yards, because that is crazy. 31st in passing yards in the NFL. That's crazy. And so looking at his stats, he had 3,400 passing yards to go along with 32 passing touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He was super efficient passing. He added another 900 rushing yards. So I guess there's only one thing to do, is we're just going to go ahead and simulate this for the next 10 seasons and see if Lamar wins any more awards, see if he somehow pulls the Super Bowl together, and see if the Ravens actually build a Super Bowl winning roster around Lamar Jackson. All right, so we have officially simulated 10 seasons, and we are in the year 2033. Looks like the Ravens are a 73 overall team. So in these last couple years, they definitely did not do very good. But first, let's hop over here to the rosters and see if Lamar Jackson is even still in the league in 2033. So hopping over to their quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa is the quarterback of the Ravens in 2033. He's 35 years old, and their best player is Derek Stingley, followed by a bunch of guys that I've never heard of. Let's just go to the NFL overall. Kyle Pitts is the only 99 overall in the league. And the only other guys I recognize are Penei Sewell, Nick Bosa, and a couple of Lions legends. Hopping over here to quarterback, let's see first of all if Lamar is even still in the league. And it looks like Lamar at 37 years old is 88 overall and still with the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seahawks have Lamar and Justin Fields on their roster. And Justin Fields does not look like he had a good career, by the way. So going all the way back to 2023, let's see if the Baltimore Ravens, paying Lamar Jackson the largest contract contract in NFL history paid off for Lamar or the Ravens. 2024, the Cowboys beat the Chiefs with Roy Hill as the NFL MVP, and Brett Stallings was the Rookie of the Year. Super Bowl MVP was Dak Prescott. And let's just see. 2025, Dak and the Kansas City Chiefs. Dak and the Kansas City Chiefs again. Jalen Hurts wins MVP with the Lions, and the Dolphins win the Super Bowl. In 2028, Dak wins another NFL MVP, and the Houston Texans, led by Mike Herbert, are your Super Bowl champions. Joe Burrow wins MVP in 29 with the Raiders as the AFC champions. Hurts and the Chiefs again. Mahomes and the Texans, and Desmond Ridder and Atlanta Falcons. It looks like this next decade of NFL football is dominated by Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, and the Houston Texans, apparently. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson do not appear to have any success, and it looks like at this point in his career, Lamar has 47,000 passing yards, 344 touchdowns, and 139 picks. He also has 13,000 rushing yards and another 100 rushing touchdowns, but does not win any more MVPs or Super Bowls. So it's time to turn back the clock and do the unthinkable. And so as the odds-on favorites, the New England Patriots are going to land Lamar Jackson in this offseason, and for 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and Mac Jones, Lamar Jackson is making his way to New England. And so it's time to hop into our first game against the Miami Dolphins, where we start Lamar Jackson's New England career off with a fumble on the opening kickoff, and it's time to let Lamar go to work just like he does. After starting his career in New England with a rushing touchdown, our defense gives up a touchdown on the next possession, and on the second offensive possession of the game, Lamar finds Jonnu Smith for a big gain. And then after a wild completion to Devontae Parker, he finds Devontae one more time in the end zone for his first career passing touchdown with the Patriots. And then after simulating the end of the game, with the game on the line, it's time to see if Lamar can put together a money drive. After getting the win, Lamar finishes his first game in New England with 383 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and another 50 yards and a rushing touchdown on the ground. And so now that the New England Patriots are 1-0, there's only one thing to do. We're just going to go ahead and advance right to the Super Bowl and see if 2023 ended better for Lamar with New England than it did for Lamar with Baltimore. And so at the end of the first season, it looks the Patriots were the 2 seed, won a playoff game, faced off against the Browns, and took the loss against the Browns. And you have a Packers-Bengals Super Bowl. So it looks like they had a pretty good season. Let's go see if Lamar did anything else. We're going to head over to the yearly rewards here, and it looks like Lamar Jackson was the league MVP. So already he's off to a way better start in New England than he was in Baltimore. He was second in Offensive Player of the Year, and he was obviously the #1 quarterback in the league. And so after his first season with Baltimore, where he was 31st in the league in passing, it looks like Lamar was 9th in passing yards and 4th in passing touchdowns, with way better stats than he had in Baltimore. On top of his 4,500 yards and 39 touchdowns, it looks like Lamar also had 500 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. It looks like an MVP year to me. And so after his first offseason with the team, it looks like the Patriots are sticking with the Ravens trend, and they're not adding any receiver help except for Scotty Miller. So let's simulate to the middle of the season of his second season with New England and see how the New England Patriots are faring with Lamar Jackson, the reigning MVP, at quarterback. And so at the midpoint of the season, it looks like the Patriots are 7-0 with Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Lamar's currently 9th in passing yards, but leading the league in passing touchdowns with 1,940 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. He also has 171 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. So it looks like Bill Belichick is turning him into a pocket passer. And so let's head to the playoff and see if Lamar can take his MVP season from last year and turn it into a Super Bowl this year. At the end of this first season, New England went 13-4, so they did stumble at the back half of the season. Going ahead and checking our stats. Lamar is 2nd in the league in passing yards with over 5,000 passing yards, and 3rd in the league in touchdowns with 44 touchdowns. And so with these insane stats, it looks like Lamar has also won back-to-back MVPs in his first 2 seasons in New England. This trade is really working out. He is absolutely lighting it up. And once again, the New England Patriots are the 2 seed in the AFC. Let's go ahead and see if they can pull off this win. And so it looks like Lamar has a revenge game. The #2 Patriots versus the #3 Ravens. And if you remember, the Ravens didn't make the playoffs when he was still with them, and now he faces them in New England. Let's see if he can get this win. And so during the first quarter, the Ravens take a 3-0 lead. And during the second quarter here, New England ties it up and Baltimore takes a 10-3 lead at going into halftime. And New England ties it up 10-10 going into the fourth. On their own side of the field, down 13-12, 3 minutes left. Lamar's got to put something together here to get this game going. And throws a completion for a first down. Big play, big throw from Lamar. So now Lamar's got 1st and 10, less than 2 minutes to go, down 1 point, just looking for a field goal here. Looks across the middle, finds Jacoby Myers, and they're in field goal range. Handing it off. The Patriots take the lead, and after Lamar hustles in for the 2-point conversion, using his legs like he always does, after getting a sack by Matthew Judon, it looks like the Patriots are going to get an interception to seal the game, and Lamar's going to beat his former team to head to the AFC Championship. And after defeating the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship, Lamar's taking on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl in just his 2nd season in New England. If you remember anything from the Ravens simulation, these Cowboys are not to be messed with. So it's time to jump into the Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson and the New England Patriots taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. So after the Cowboys take a 3-0 lead, it's Lamar Jackson and the New England Patriots with the football heading into the second quarter, and they score a touchdown, but end up going down 10-7 and then tying it up 10-10. And at halftime, the Patriots are down 20-10 to the Dallas Cowboys. So on 3rd and 5, Lamar Jackson from his own 13 is going to drop back to pass, fires Damian Harris over the middle, open. But are they going to give him the first down on that? No, they're going to mark him down 4th and 1. And when it's all said and done, the Patriots get blown out by the Dallas Cowboys in Lamar's 2nd season. But Lamar is already playing so much better than he did in Baltimore. And so after simulating all the way to the 2030 season, going all the way back to 2023, where the Patriots and Lamar Jackson lost to the Dallas Cowboys, since then it looks like Lamar has won no more MVPs and the Patriots have not been back to the Super Bowl. However, the Patriots are still building a good team around Lamar Jackson with an 85 overall team across the board. So it's time to sim to the middle of the season and see how this one looks. And at the midpoint of the 2030 NFL season, the Patriots are 4-2, and Lamar Jackson at 34 years old is still a 98 overall, but it looks like he's hurt and out for the next 13 weeks, which would put him coming back in the AFC Championship game. So it looks like this season might be chalked, but we're going to go ahead and simulate through it anyway. So let's head to the playoffs and see what happened. And so at the end of the year, somehow the Patriots pull out a 13-4 record. Who is their backup quarterback? Lamar is still hurt, and Spencer Farrell, 69 overall, 22-year-old. Look at all of his morale boosts. He must be playing out of his mind. I'm gonna pop over to the stats here, and he is 19th in passing yards and 11th in passing touchdowns. Spencer Farrell carrying the team. But let's see if this team can make it until Lamar comes back, because the Patriots somehow pulled off a 3 seed with their backup quarterback. And I think that speaks to a team finally building a good roster around Lamar Jackson. And so Spencer Farrell has done it again. The Patriots are facing off against the number 2 seed Indianapolis Colts, and Lamar Jackson has 1 more week of injury. So if they can pull this game off, he comes back for the AFC Championship. So let's advance and see what happens. And oh my God, they pulled it off. The 13-4 Patriots are playing the 11-6 Cincinnati Bengals in an AFC Championship game where Lamar returns from injury. And so 7-7 here in the second quarter. Looks like it's going to be a tight game. Patriots take the 14-7 lead into halftime and go up 17-7 in the third quarter. They start pulling away, and it looks like Lamar Jackson may actually play for another Super Bowl in the year 2033, pulling off a 27-21 upset. And there he is, Lamar Jackson. Looks like in his return, Lamar went 31 for 39, 340 yards and 1 touchdown. And so here we are with the 3-seed Patriots facing the 3-seed Carolina Panthers with a Super Bowl on the line in the year 2030. And so in the first quarter here, the Carolina Panthers open with a 7-3 lead. And during the second quarter, they take a 10-3 lead, but the Patriots tie it up 10-10 and go into halftime down 13-10. So coming out of the halftime, the Patriots give the ball to Carolina, who take a 16-10 lead. And so here we are in the fourth quarter. Patriots with the ball down 16-10, and Jacoby Myers takes it in to go up 17-16. And after taking a 20-16 lead, the Patriots go down 20-23 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And after they take a 27-23 lead, the 2-minute warning, and this game's about to get interesting. The Patriots get the ball back at the 2-minute warning, but Carolina takes it back. And so in the red zone here, Carolina Panthers drop back to pass, looking, rolling out, sacked. Oh my gosh, 4th and 13 with the Lamar Super Bowl life on the line. 30 seconds left, drops back, looking, takes off, and he's gonna get the first down. tackled with 27 seconds left. Carolina takes the timeout. Oh my gosh. Drops back to pass. Looking, fires. Touchdown, Carolina. Oh my gosh. Can Lamar get the job done? Down 3 points, 20 seconds left. Lamar dropping back to pass. Looking for his tight end over the middle. Gets the completion. Timeout, New England. 17 seconds left. Down 3 points. Two timeouts to go. Lamar looking over the middle. Finds his tight end, Hunter Henry, again. Timeout, 12 seconds. They're in field goal range to at least tie it. And so the field goal attempt to try to tie the game and force overtime in the Super Bowl. The kick is up. And it's good. They're going to overtime. New England's going to get the ball first, so they need to drive down and score a touchdown. That would be absolutely huge. 3rd and inches, and it's 4th and inches, and New England's going to punt the football. And they punt the ball. Carolina punts it back. And so the final drive, if Lamar Jackson can put together a field goal here, the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. And so on 4th and 3 with the game on the line, Lamar Jackson's going to drop back to pass. He's going to scramble up the middle, slide down, continue grinding. Looks at the edge again. Jacoby Myers upfield, and they're getting close to field goal range. Probably 10 yards away from a field goal. Lamar's going to drop back, looks across the middle. Jacoby Myers again. These two, Lamar, 455 yards in this Super Bowl. Lamar drops back, looks, read option. Lamar Jackson, first down. And they've got to be in field goal range now. And they're not going to take the field goal. Lamar's going to drop back to pass again on 1st and 10. And on 1st and 10, Lamar's just going to hand it off. Up the middle. I don't even know who this running back is. 2nd and 3. This has been a wild game. The kick is up. And Lamar Jackson's a Super Bowl champion. What a game. Oh my God. 2030, 2 MVP trophies, and a Super Bowl title for Lamar Jackson.